What would you do if you found out that your significant other was having a baby with your stepsister? Well, that is exactly what's happened to this poor woman who has just been told by her mum, of all people, who's known about it for months, that that is her reality. What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This story is mental. Subscribe if you're new, drop a like if you're going to enjoy this one, or if you feel bad for this woman. Strap in, let's go. I am a 28-year-old woman, and my significant other is a 28-year-old man. Now, he cheated on me with my stepsister, who is 27, and she is pregnant with his kid. The original post for this one came all the way back in July of 2015. He, Adam, says he was drunk. We've been together for 10 years and finally got engaged and planning on getting married in a year and starting a family in a few years. And she, Betty, took advantage of him the first time. Adam doesn't have an excuse for the handful of other times they slept together over a 3-month period. It's not a good start. I knew she was pregnant. I've already been roped by my mum into co-hosting the baby shower with my other stepsister, Claire, who's 30. I don't know if it's shock or what, but I'm so freaking glad I haven't given Claire my share for the expensive jogging stroller we're getting Betty, or my half of the baby shower cost. Betty told everyone the father is an ex-boyfriend who doesn't want anything to do with her or the kid. She makes a ton of money, she'd be fine as a single mother, and my mum would help a ton, since she's retired and bored and wants a Duggar family's worth of grandchildren. Adam confessed everything because his dad walked out on him and his mum when he was a toddler, so he wants to be a father to his child, but still be with me because he loves me and made a mistake. I told him to get the F out of my apartment. Thank F we don't live together right now. We've lived together previously, but his mum wasn't doing well, so he moved in with her. His mum is fine now, so apparently he used his newfound free time to screw my stepsister. Although a bunch of his stuff is at my apartment because he was supposed to be moving in like a month and was bringing stuff over slowly. Anyway, he called my mum and told her who the real father of Betty's baby is, just because she's my mother and she'll listen to me cry. But she freaking knew already, Reddit. Apparently, in a fit of sadness over missing her deceased mother, who died when she was like 2, Betty told my mother. They all, my mum, Claire, and my stepfather, have freaking known for months. Months! Meanwhile, I'm over here killing myself trying to find the perfect floral arrangement for the tables for Betty's baby shower because I'm trying to be all sisterly and whatever and being the bigger person because sure as heck, Betty wouldn't put half as much effort into my baby shower if I were having one and she was hosting or co-hosting it. Or half as much money, even though she makes a load more than me. My own mother couldn't freaking tell me that my freaking fiance fathered my freaking stepsister's freaking baby. Goodness me. Okay, it seems like OP has just found out about this and is posting sort of imminently afterwards, but yeah, her entire family already knew and have known for months. She continues. No, in fact, my mum guilt-tripped me into being a co-host for the baby shower as soon as she found out Betty was pregnant. I think before she found out Adam was the father. I think. Mum, apparently, well, the general gist is she wants us all to get along and be a family, and it doesn't matter about the past, it just matters about the new life in the family. She knows I'm upset and hurt, but I need to work on my relationships with Adam, since we've been together 10 years and I wouldn't want to throw that away over a mistake, and Betty, since we're sisters and have been since we were kids, and figure out how to be the bigger person and put my feelings aside for the sake of the kid and our family. Yeah, easier said than done, Mum. I've always been the bigger person with Betty. From the very moment we were first introduced at the tender ages of 10 and 9, and she refused to give me my favourite stuffed animal back. And even then, Mum felt bad for her and let her get away with being a brat, and she got to take Mrs. Snuffles home while I had to suck it up and be the bigger person. She probably still has poor Mrs. Snuffles in some box in my mum and stepfather's attic, a trophy for her first of many victories over me. I hung up on my mother, and here I am posting on Reddit. Okay, yeah, this is fresh. I don't want to be Betty's kid's stepmother. I don't think I can forgive Adam. He knows what Betty's like and how our relationship is. Heck, I don't even know if I can forgive my mum, and she's like my mum. She was a great mother, one of my best friends. The only wrong things about her was her nasty habit of pitying Betty and letting her get away with murder, and her rubbish knitting that she always gives as gifts. I don't know how she can justify this betrayal in any way. It wasn't me that screwed up 10 years of a relationship, or mine and Betty's supposed sisterly bond. It was them. Maybe I should talk to her and ask if someone's slipped crazy pills in her food the last few months, or maybe she's getting early dementia or something. I don't know. I keep looking at the text message from Claire that she sent me way too freaking early this morning, asking when I was giving her my share of the $800 jogging stroller we're getting Betty, and my share of the baby shower costs that's going to be worth a trashy Craigslist car. Okay, let's jump straight into a very quick edit that OP left, saying, is it wrong to reply telling her to go and screw herself? Because I did. We put all the rubbish on her credit cards, and she's in school and working a terrible retail job, and I feel bad for leaving her a huge debt of $3,000, but I keep telling myself she can return the stroller, cancel the stuff, sell the stuff that can't be returned, and probably my stepdad and mum will help her with the rest. Another edit. I mass texted our friends, telling them that Adam was a cheating idiot who was Betty's baby daddy. We've been together so long that all our friends are friends with us both. The only people I'm friends with who aren't friends with him too are basically just acquaintances that I don't feel comfortable talking about this with. Then I turned my phone off. I swear to God, if any of them knew or take his side, what if all of them knew? God. Tomorrow, my mum's out of the house at her weekly volunteering gig, and I'm going to go over to their house. I have a key, but chances are if my stepdad is home, he'll let me in and go back to watching TV. Great man. My stepsisters got a woman who tried to mother them without replacing their mother and overcompensating like heck. I got a dude that will occasionally nod at me and sometimes give me a deal on rent when the family plays Monopoly. I've got stuff in the attic that I was keeping there until I had a house of my own. Plus, I want to find Mrs. Snuffles. Oh, and I'm going to raid my mum's jewelry box, which sounds bad, I know, but I'll only take the stuff my grandmother left me, I promise. I was letting my mum borrow it because I felt bad that my grandma willed it all to me and skipped her, mum's an only child, and I figured I'd just get it back when my mum died in 40 years. Which I'll freely admit is freaking stupid of me because I could just see Betty whining that she didn't have any grandmothers to leave her jewelry and that isn't fair, and probably my grandma knew what she was doing, leaving it to me instead. I wish she was alive. She'd tear my mum a new one. Hopefully, everything will be there and she won't be wearing anything. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I want it just in case. I don't think she'd give any of it to Betty or Claire or anything, but I also didn't think she'd freaking betray me like this. So, it's my jewelry. She's borrowing it indefinitely. I just kind of figured I'd let her keep it until she died because it was her mum's, but it's mine. I can't trust her not to give any of it to Claire or Betty, and I don't want to have to talk to her if I decide to never speak to her again, so I'm getting it tomorrow. We both know it's mine. It's not stealing to decide not to loan it to her anymore. It means a lot to me, so I'm for sure getting it. Goodness me. OP is on one. She then says, thank you for all your comments and advice so far. I'm going to go to bed and see what tomorrow brings me. Hopefully all my jewelry, Mrs. Snuffles, and messages from every one of my friends saying they're never speaking to Adam again because he's an idiot. They won't forgive me if I take him back, and none of them had any idea. Now you might be thinking, that's it for the original post. No, there's one more edit. I'm a really bad person, OP says. I texted Betty, I hope your baby is born with Down syndrome, which will be an interesting combination with the fetal alcohol syndrome it's got a 90% chance of having since you drink more than your mother ever dreamed of drinking. And then I followed that up with a text calling her a C word, and then another one that just said, tramp. Her mum died in a car crash she caused by drinking and driving. And Betty is the type of person who's expressed more than once that people with disabilities like Down syndrome should just be killed because they don't have any use and are a drain on society. Goodness me. I feel kind of bad, partly because it's trashy to say that sort of thing to anyone, and I'm a better person than that, and partially because reading that back, I don't really think that's much of an insult or anything, really. But what do I know? I've never been pregnant, maybe it will make her cry. And thanks to her, I'm probably not going to be pregnant anytime soon. I turned my phone off again, and to keep it off, I tossed it on top of the kitchen cupboards that I can't reach without a chair, and I'm for sure going to bed now. So what the F do I do? Wow. Okay, a quite frankly ridiculous start to this post. You can tell that OP is all over the place. Just been hit with some wild news, and I can't imagine going to bed, leaving my phone on top of the cupboards, having sent a message to all our mutual friends, me and my cheating significant other, saying what's happened, and then trying to work out or think about or ruminate on as you go to bed, did they already know this? And praying that they didn't and that this is news to them. Because if it isn't news to them and they already knew this and you're like the last one to find out about this, it's just shocking. It really is. Now, this is, of course, best of Redditor updates. So don't worry. There is an update to come, which we're going to get right into. This was a month later that we got the next bit of this story. But my goodness me. I mean, like 10 years and your SO is having a baby with your stepsister, and turns out other people have known about it for months and you just found out. Oh, like it's just sickening. Okay, so as I said, 1 month later, we're now in August of 2015, we got this update. I kept my relationship with Betty cool as soon as I turned 18 and moved out to go to college. We don't really have that sisterly bond, but it's more like cousins you see at family reunions bond. We tolerate each other. She knows I think she's a spoiled brat, and I know she thinks I'm a female dog because I won't take trash from anyone and will call her or anyone out on their trash. Mum is the only person I cave to and allow myself to be guilted into stuff and walked all over for. I'm not a wallflower or welcome mat or anything, so yeah. A lot of you said in the comments to cut them all off, and if I read my post, that would be my advice too. Like I said, I don't take trash. I completely stopped being friends with my BFF since I was 8 when I was 22 because she was staying with me for a month and kept smoking in my apartment even when I asked not to. Then she got female doggy when I bluntly told her she was being a jerk. And in general, I just didn't like the person she was growing into. So first, the day after my post, I went to my mum's house. No one was home and I used my key. I grabbed my jewelry and the boxes of random stuff I had sitting in the attic. I looked for Mrs. Snuffles, but I couldn't find her. I searched all of the Betty boxes and the Claire boxes to just be sure. I'm pretty sure their dog at the time destroyed her. I doubt Betty would have kept her all these years. I may or may not have also then cut up all of Betty's photos I found. Whoops, was that a photo of your mum? Well, I'm sure Claire has photos of her. Plus, you have my mum now, so you'll be fine. No, I'm not proud of that, but, well, they're sitting in the attic anyway, and much like Adam, I had a lapse of judgment. Yeah, slightly different, but fair enough. I lapsed so hard that I grabbed the kitchen scissors on my way to the attic. Yeah, and he lapsed so hard that he, multiple times, had sex with your sister-in-law, impregnating her. Yeah, eye for an eye, I suppose. I will admit, a month later, I feel pretty rubbish I did that. But the day after, I was still really raw and annoyed, and yeah, you know what? I think that's kind of fair. When I got home, I finally checked my phone. There were a load of messages from Mum, Claire and Betty that I deleted without really reading. Even an hour afterwards, I couldn't have told you what they said, but I bet in general, I could guess. The messages I got from my friends were really disappointing. Like I said, they were all mutual friends that have never known Adam and I separate from a couple, and most of the replies were, "We care about you both." Only a couple said he was an idiot or anything. One person, in fact, knew. Adam had told his BFF like a week before he told me, and his BFF strongly encouraged him to tell me. Oh, okay, I'm just rereading. So Adam was the one who actually told OP, and her mum didn't tell her, I see, or didn't tell her before she asked OP to help out with the baby shower or whatever. And we don't know, still don't really know if she knew at that point or not, but we know that she knew before OP did. Okay, fine. Doesn't necessarily matter that much. The important thing is that lots of people knew before OP. Well, not lots of people, but OP's close family knew before her. Okay, let's get back into it. A lot of you weren't very kind about speaking about my mother. Understandably, but she's not a narcissist or a bad person, really. She's too kind. And when she married my stepfather, she felt really bad for my stepsisters and took it to extremes. Like I said, she was my best friend, and I'd even been toying with the idea of making her my matron of honor if we decided to have a wedding versus just going to Vegas, which we were seriously considering. I met my mother for lunch at a restaurant. She was upset with me for taking my jewelry without telling her, saying I should have left a note because she just about had a heart attack when she got home and my stuff was gone. I told her she should have told me as soon as Betty left that Adam was the father of her baby. She said she hadn't wanted to get involved or in the middle, and by telling me when either Adam or Betty should have, would have meant that she was involved. Plus, she was in shock that Betty had told her that and wasn't really thinking about me. Oh, that's not good. I'm sorry. Like, even if you shouldn't get involved, like when there's information that is that important to your daughter's life, you just tell them. You worry about the consequences later, surely. I told her that happened most of the time when Betty was involved, ever since we were first introduced. She tried to convince me to take Adam back, that I shouldn't waste our 10 years together. I told her that Adam was the one who chose to throw away 10 years. She did tell me that she hadn't known when she'd convinced me into co-hosting that Adam was the father, and that she and my stepfather would cover my share of the gift and shower. I told her that I was her daughter, she gave birth to me, and I was not going to ever be able to forgive Betty. So if Mum wanted to keep being my mother, she needed to pick me for once. She said she couldn't do that she had been Betty's only mother figure, and she wholly considered Betty her daughter, and she really didn't want to get involved still. That if she had given birth to all three of us, her decision would still be the same. I told her that I was very sorry to hear that, and I wished her well. I'd call her every now and then, but I wasn't going to see her much or attend family gatherings, nor would any children of mine know my stepfamily. She said she was sorry to hear I was deciding that, and that she hoped I'd forgive and forget eventually and not tear the family apart. Yeah, because it's definitely OP that's tearing the family apart. I told her I was disappointed in her, but not particularly surprised, and Betty was the one who effed my fiance and tore the family apart. There we go. Then I said goodbye, I popped down my share of the bill, and I left. I'll call her in a couple of months, but for now I've got her and my stepfamily on their own ringtones, so I know to not answer them. If she insists on talking about Betty, Adam, or their baby on our phone calls, I won't speak to her until she learns not to do it. Yes, she very kindly admonished me for what I texted Betty, but I shrugged and told her that she's getting involved by telling me I shouldn't have sent that. Yes, I realised I shouldn't have sent Betty what I did, but I was annoyed and I'd finished off a bottle of wine, and frankly, she is a C word. I agree. As for Adam, he showed up about a few days after he told me with pizza, ice cream and flowers. I had his stuff sitting by the door and was more than willing to have him get it and go, but he convinced me to talk to him. He confessed that while I lost my virginity to him, he had lost his to Betty a few weeks before. What? It felt like he'd punched me in the face. I told him if I'd known that, I would have dumped his butt then and spent the remaining 9.5 years not being held back because he didn't want to leave our city or go on trips out of the country or get a freaking cat. He's super allergic. Or paint my nails. He's weird about nail polish. I haven't painted mine since we started dating seriously. He was apologetic, but said he loved me and wanted to work on things. I told him I wasn't going to be Betty's baby stepmother, that I wanted to live a 100% Betty-free life, and that if I were to take him back, he would have no contact with the woman he cheated on me with, which obviously wouldn't be possible if he's the kid's dad. He said that Betty told him there was a chance he wasn't the father after he told me, because, like I said, she's a C word. I told him there still was a chance he was though, and I wasn't going to risk it. Plus, that didn't change the fact that he betrayed me when we were first together and last year, and that was 2 times too many. He asked if we could still be friends, with, I'm 90% sure, the intent to win me back. I told him I'd think about it. No chance in heck of that happening. I talked to my dad. He lives across the country and we're on great terms, even though we only saw each other during the summer when I was growing up. I really liked my stepmother, but our relationship had always been a bit shadowed because, well, I was a D and firmly pushed her away to not hurt my mum's feelings, which I'm pretty sure is some sort of weird irony. Dad offered to pay me to get me out of the rest of my lease and let me live in one of his rental houses for free if I want to move to his city. I'm going to do it. I've got a buttload of savings to last me a while until I found a job. I never wanted to stay in our home city forever, and I think being 2,000 miles away from my mum and the rest of them will really help. I'm going to work on my relationship with my stepmother too. First thing I'm going to do when I see her is apologize. I quit my job and I spent the last few weeks relaxing, packing, planning, speaking to a therapist, looking at cats up for adoption in my dad's city, and reaching out to the handful of friends I have there from when I'd visit dad in the summer. Hopefully, someone will click and I'll have at least one good friend there. I bought myself way too much nail polish, got a manicure, and I spent a lot of money on a pair of boots I've wanted since forever, but held off on getting because, I couldn't splurge like that because I was going to get married. So, everything is going to be okay, I think. Thank you to everyone who commented and PM'd me with helpful advice and sympathy. So there we go. That is the conclusion of that story. A very good conclusion. I will say it is a little bit sad that, you've been in this relationship for 10 years and because of your love for Adam and the fact that he didn't like certain things, I don't want to say you've put your life on pause, or the truth is you haven't done things that you've always wanted to do, and now you're realizing that you can do them. It's sort of it's a bit of a kick in the teeth, isn't it, really? Like, this whole time there were all these secrets that you never knew about, going back to before you even started dating, or at least before you guys first had sex, that if you'd known about could easily have changed the last 10 years of your life, which is a bit of a sorry thought, but I guess now in a way, that's not really a positive. One thing I will say is that OP is clearly a great person, quite funny as well. They've done a TLDR, a too long didn't read, at the bottom of this post, and it says, "Took Adam back, trying to talk Betty into naming the baby after me. Just kidding, I'm moving 2,000 miles away from them all and everything's probably going to be okay." And I'm not going to lie, I read that TLDR and I was like, surely not. That can't be the case. So I'm very happy that's not the case. Just good humour from OP. But yeah. Oh, I kind of get what OP's saying about their mum. And obviously only they know their mum. But I agree with the comments on Reddit. And I'm sure you guys are thinking the same thing. This is not a good mother. I get it. If you are a parent and there is serious beef is a light word, but you know what I mean, serious familial issues that are going on between your children or other members of the family, you want to be impartial and be there for both parties. But when it's something like this, where someone is so clearly in the wrong, and then your other child is just has been so hurt and has been destroyed by this, I don't think it's the right thing to do, to be like, "Oh, I'm being impartial. I love you both." Surely you have to say, "No, that's disgusting what my stepdaughter's done." And by the way, I'm not for 1 second going into the whole, OP's more of your daughter than your stepdaughter. I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's very fair what OP's mum is saying, that, they're both equal daughters to her, and even if she had birthed all of them, it wouldn't change anything. That's completely fine. But yeah, to then just say, "Well, I love you both, let's not split the family up over this," that's just wrong in my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think. But for me, I don't think I'd be able to do that, and I don't think I'd be able to look my mum in the face if she had that reaction, if that sort of thing happened in my life. But there we go. That's it for this one. Really hope you enjoyed it. As always, looking forward to seeing your comments down below. Stay safe out there, guys, and make sure that if you do have a stepsister in your life, she is not pregnant with your significant other.